Hi, I'm Luann Aiken with Tagawa Gardens here in Centennial, Colorado, and flowers love Colorado. But there are some flowers that don't get enough love back, and I am here with Lina, the lavender queen of Tagawa Gardens, who's going to talk to us about how it is so worth planting lavender in some of these arid gardens.
Thanks, Luann. Yes, lavenders are very much underloved in Colorado. They grow beautifully in the Denver metro area, the Front Range, and believe it or not, the Western Slope. They love the Western Slope. So I have some of my favorite ones here, and the perennial varieties that actually do really well here.
Going to survive the winter with just a little extra care.
That's right, and really not that much care. There are certain things that they absolutely love. They must have at least 6 hours of direct sun.
No negotiating that.
No, 6 hours minimum, more is more. It's
more
just
is better.
great. Yes,
right.
It is better. They also like a very well-drained soil. So if you have a very heavy clay soil and it drains down to the bottom, that is not an area to put lavender. You have to put it at the top of a berm or on a slope, but a soil that is friable and loose and free draining.
And if somebody does have a clay soil, as so many of us do,
yes,
here in this arid West, what amendment do you recommend?
I would build up the bed a little bit.
The raised bed.
Or the raised bed, make it a raised bed or a berm, or just add some gravel and some compost. You want to really loosen it up so that when you do water, and they can take quite a bit of water, but it must drain away.
Okay.
And so that's really important for that.
Some varieties that you are especially fond of.
Well, the two types that do very well here are the English varieties, the Lavendula and angustifolia, and then the other varieties they call the French hybrids, and these are a cross. And they, you can see that the bees love lavender. Yeah. Bees and lavenders love lavender, and very easy to take care of. The English varieties, they're a little bit smaller, 15 to 18 inches tall, and they make more of a mound. Very tight. You can see that the flower stalks are a little bit shorter. The French varieties, the French hybrids, as in the Provence and the Grosso, the flower stalks are very, very long, and they make lovely wands.
Dried.
Yes, dried wands. They have a stronger camphor fragrance.
The fragrance, that oil.
Yes,
right?
And they do produce a lot more oil, so they tend to be used more for commercial uses, whereas the English lavenders are great to be grown for culinary uses. Okay. So if you want to make those, lavender scones or biscuits or whatever.
Ice cream or sugar.
Yes.
Oh, it goes on and on.
This one is the one to use.
Right. People need, I think, to pay really close attention to some of the tags that are on these, because that will tell you hopefully, will tell you whether this is one that can survive our winters.
Right.
We'll tell you how high it gets, how wide it gets. So
yes.
I know you are a big believer in save the tags.
I am. Either bury it in the ground next to the plant upside down so it doesn't break and disintegrate, or put it in a book.
Put it in a book? Put it
yep.
in a, okay. When people want to harvest their flowers, when do they do it and how do they do it?
Well, the best, they bloom in July. And then some people just like to let their flowers bloom because, as you can see, the bees are enjoying it. If you do want to use them for culinary purposes or crafts, then you want to wait until about a third of the flowers are open.
And then a third of the flowers on each stalk.
On each stalk, okay. Right. And then you can do one of two things. You can just do a massive cultivate and just cut it, bunch it up, pair of scissors, clippers, cut it out, and cut about 1 inch to 2 inches below the stalk. And that way you're not only
into the foliage?
Into the foliage.
Okay.
This is very important. A lot of people don't prune their lavenders and then they become very woody.
And a little special pruning care in the spring?
In the spring, I would wait until about early to mid-April when you start to see new growth on the old wood, and then go in there, and you can actually prune them quite harshly, down to about 4 to 6, 8.
So in there somewhere?
4 to 8 inches above the ground.
Okay.
I take electric shears. And I really cut all that old stuff out of there.
Tough love.
And then, yes, it is tough. And then it comes back, and that's how you keep them nice and tight and just green rather than woody.
And flowery, and
Yes,
the bees
and
love
lovely.
it. And you too can have sachets or lavender ice cream, lavender sugar cookies. It's a great plant. It loves this kind of semi-arid high desert.
It does.
And we can help you here at Tagawa's. We have all kinds of information. There is one point I wanted to touch on. What about the lavenders that are not hardy here?
They're great to grow in containers, and especially in terracotta pots. Some of them are referred to as the Spanish variety. Some are the French, but not the French hybrid, so be very careful there. They don't like our freezing temperatures. So best to grow them in pots in a sunny area and then bring them into the house in a very sunny window.
So you can hold them over with care.
Yes.
Or treat them as an annual.
That's right.
Okay. And we will have some ideas on what would work best for your setting. Lina can answer your questions. A lot of the folks here at Tagawa's love lavender. In fact, just about everybody.
We love lavender.
Love lavender. It is an underused, underloved, underappreciated plant, so you need to help us fix that. Come see us at Tagawa's. We would be happy to help you be green and grow. If you like this video, feel free to share it with a friend, and come see us at TagawaGardens.com for more videos like this. You'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter.